Right now, a community meeting is held over an apartment building that has become more than just a nuisance to the people who live nearby.
This is the destruction a hurricane storm surge can do. I'm Jason Allen in Steinhatchee, Florida. I'll show you the destruction from Hurricane Idalia as it moved across the southeast.
And a newly formed program by UW Health aims at helping those who need it from the comfort of their own homes. That's all coming up right now at 10. Thanks for joining us. Another night of cold temperatures across southern Wisconsin after a sunny day.
There's just a few more weeks of summer officially, but for Labor Day, this weekend, it's going to feel a little bit more like mid-July rather than early September. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is here to break down what's on the way in his first warn forecast. Gary?
Eric, it seems kind of strange to be talking about temperatures that could be in the 90s beginning on Saturday, even though low temperatures last night and tomorrow morning will probably be in the 40s. Let's start out by taking a look at the time-lapse from the WISC-TV Skycam. We had bright sunshine all day today, just a couple of clouds. Other than that, clear skies for much of the day. And it was a beautiful day, but it was on the cool side. Last night, temperatures were in the 30s up toward Camp Douglas and Black River Falls. Camp Douglas down to 35 degrees. Most of southern Wisconsin saw temperatures in the lower 50s to the upper 40s. High temperatures, though, were held down a bit. 72 here in Madison, 73 in Janesville. Boscobel hit 80, but to the east, temperatures stayed in the 60s, especially closer to Lake Michigan. And right now, temperatures are in the 50s already, mid-50s in Madison, and they're well on their way to seeing temperatures in the 40s. Across Dane County, it's 53 degrees in Mount Horeb, 55 in Madison, and 55 in Sun Prairie. Look for skies to be mostly clear overnight, low temperature dropping to 47 degrees. We have first warn weather alert days in the forecast from Saturday through Tuesday for hot weather. I'll tell you how hot it'll get in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. 4 months after the city of Madison declared an east side apartment complex a public nuisance, Madison police and the property owners say they're working on a solution, but neighbors of the Meadowlands apartment say they haven't seen much change.
City leaders and the property management held a meeting tonight to give the community answers about the future of the complex. Our Braden Ross was there, and she joins us now with more. Braden?
Yeah, at tonight's meeting, we finally heard from property management on the issues at the Meadowlands apartments. Their main message, we messed up and we're trying to fix it. R.J. Pisquazy has a message for Madison's Far East Side.
And I'm here to tell you, we've messed up.
He's the president of KCG Companies, the property manager of the Meadowlands apartments.
So it's a fairly new apartment complex. It opened in September of 2022, so it's been almost a year since it's opened.
In this instance, things happen pretty quickly.
In April, a little more than 6 months after it opened, the city of Madison declared the complex a public nuisance.
In my role representing property management, I want to assure you that I'm listening to your concerns and I hear your frustrations, and you might be shocked to know we share them with you.
In June, police were called to the complex 38 times. In July, 84, and in August so far, 90.
I'm not pleased with where the number is. I'm not happy with where the number is.
KCG says they're trying to make change.
We have a very strict, I'm going to say, zero tolerance policy when it comes to resident behavior. We do not want to allow bad apples to ruin it for those that truly want to be there.
Pisquazy says getting those bad apples out is easier said than done.
And I heard the laughs there. I think you should read the Madison guidelines on how difficult it is to evict people in your city.
Moving forward, both KCG and Madison Police say they're working on more fixes like added security and a Madison Police community outreach officer to check in with residents at the property once a week.
But we're going to continue to try and work through it.
Change doesn't happen overnight, and not by ourselves. So we need your support.
Now, KCG Companies has multiple evictions in process at Meadowlands right now, but they say it takes time again to get those bad apples out.
Madison police are investigating after they say someone robbed a Casey's General Store on the city's far northeast side last night. It happened at the Casey's on Cross Hill Drive around 9:35. Police say a masked man walked in and demanded money. Employees told police they thought the man had a gun, but they never saw if he was armed or not. The man left with cash, cigarettes, and lottery tickets. Anyone with information on this robbery is asked to call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen, 608-266-6014. More work is being done to alleviate Wisconsin's child care shortage problems and affordability issues.
Republican lawmakers have proposed a series of bills nearly a month after Governor Evers called a special session to address those issues. 6 bills are now looking for co-sponsors, with their authors arguing changes would bring Wisconsin more in line with neighboring states while helping increase capacity at child care centers and lowering costs for families. The governor asked for $340 million in state money to fill gaps child care providers might face when pandemic-era federal funding runs out. But the Republican-led Joint Finance Committee removed the provision from the final budget. Democratic State Senator Melissa Eggard has been an outspoken advocate of action to address the issue, but she believes the proposals are insufficient, saying in part, quote, at a time when our state finds itself with a record surplus, legislative Republicans have chosen to invest $0 to ease the cost of providing or accessing child care. For more details on those proposed bills, you can look for this story at channel3000.com. Police in Platteville are searching for the owner of a dog found with a note on her that read, "Help me." Platteville police were called to a park last week about the dog running loose. She immediately ran up to an officer's car, hopped right in. The officer noticed the dog had a handwritten note attached to her pink collar. It said, "Please help. Take me to a shelter. My name is Lola." Platteville police say they're searching for Lola's owner so they can figure out exactly what happened here. According to the Platteville Police Department's Facebook page, she is now up for adoption. Overnight, Hurricane Idalia made landfall in Florida. Maximum sustained winds at the time, 125 miles an hour. And the fury that left behind extensive damage to homes and businesses up and down the state of Florida's Gulf Coast.
It's since been downgraded to a tropical storm, whipping Georgia and South Carolina after making its way through Florida. Jason Allen is in the town of Steinhatchee, close to where the storm first came ashore.
Idalia unleashed its destructive force on a wide stretch of Florida's Gulf Coast. The storm made its fearsome landfall Wednesday morning as a Category 3 hurricane. Carving a long trail of destruction, Idalia landed southeast of Tallahassee in the less populated Big Bend region of the Florida Panhandle.
It went through one of our least populated corridors you could ask for it to go through.
But officials say the remote location is likely to slow the work of search teams.
The search and rescue operations have been ongoing from the moment that the storm passed.
Here in the coastal community of Steinhatchee, the 9-foot storm surge, it flooded streets and it partially submerged businesses and homes.
Connie Walden rode out the storm at home. She was there when this tree landed on her roof.
Did you know when you heard the boom what had happened outside?
No, had no idea. No, but everything shook.
Across the region, streets turned into rivers and winds downed power lines, leaving thousands without power. In the town of Crystal River, residents were brought to safety, while people in Tampa slogged through floodwaters.
I didn't expect to have to kind of wade through water to get here. The streets all flooded out.
No one was injured when a century-old oak tree fell on the governor's mansion in Tallahassee. After pummeling Florida, Idalia pushed into Georgia and the Carolinas, bringing the threat of more storm surge, heavy rains, and dangerous winds. Jason Allen, CBS News, Steinhatchee, Florida.
Well, back here in Wisconsin, excitement is brewing on the UW-Madison campus. The fall semester officially begins in a week, which means many first-year students spent the week moving into their residence halls. There are more than 20 residence halls across campus. So housing department staff and volunteers have been busy this week helping those new students and their families get acclimated with their new homes. Students can use this time also to get familiar with campus and the surrounding areas ahead of the start of classes next week. And of course, thousands of first-year Badgers will get the chance to experience their first home football game at Camp Randall as students when they host Buffalo Saturday afternoon.
A newly started program by UW Health is allowing patients to receive hospital-level care from the comfort of their own homes. The home-based hospital program launched last month and is the culmination of more than 2 years of work by UW Health to get the program up and running. Inpatient home care has been around since the 1990s, but it's seen a growth in popularity since the COVID-19 pandemic. Through the program, a doctor will visit a patient at home at least once a day, and nurses will make stops at least twice a day. Officials with UW Health say the research shows this type of care, home over hospital, makes patients happier.
They are getting very personalized care in their home. There's less chance of issues with delirium, greater chance of being more mobile, so they're not as debilitated because they're home and they're sleeping in their home environment.
UW Health is the first hospital system to offer this type of care in south central and southeastern Wisconsin.
The Drug Enforcement Agency is reviewing whether marijuana should be classified as a less dangerous drug. Right now, it's a Schedule I substance like heroin and LSD. In a new letter, the Department of Health and Human Services asked the DEA to consider making it a Schedule III drug. That would ease restrictions for cannabis researchers and businesses. The DEA has the authority to make the change through a process that includes public input. Could more money be coming to salaried workers? Millions of them would get overtime pay under a proposed rule by the Biden administration. That rule unveiled by the U.S. Department of Labor earlier today. Now, it would guarantee overtime pay of at least time and a half pay for salaried workers earning about $55,000 a year. The current threshold is about $35,000 a year. According to the agency, the proposed rule would make 3.6 million salaried workers eligible for overtime pay. Business groups blocked a similar effort under former President Barack Obama back in 2016 when he wanted to raise that threshold to about $47,000 a year. Well, tomorrow, First Lady Jill Biden will visit Madison, and News 3 Now will bring you coverage of her visits throughout southern Wisconsin all day long. I'll be joined by our reporters Catherine Merck and Will Keneally as we closely follow the First Lady's visit. Team coverage will start with News 3 Now this morning. It'll go through our early evening newscast tomorrow. And of course, you can also watch our coverage throughout the day at channel3000.com. More local stories are straight ahead at 10.
There's a new policy being put in place by Madison schools to keep students who cause trouble in school rather than disciplining them without of school suspensions. Hear what parents and board members have to say about it.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Winner of the Best Evening Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
Action! Get up to 60% off list prices on hundreds of items at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture. Incredible deals. This awesome reclining sectional comes with a free recliner. Or this 5-piece dining set for $3.99. This soft gray sofa with a free matching chair, both for $4.88. How about a Lazy Boy recliner as low as $3.98? Plus new 24-month no-interest financing. Up to 60% off at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture. Do not miss this one.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Oh.
Jane, I'm Steve from Security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Wish you had help getting things done. Same. So I got Spectrum One. It's fast internet, unlimited mobile, and advanced Wi-Fi, all for a great price. Want it? Here's the number.
Call 833-784-4999 to get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi and your first line of unlimited mobile free for 12 months. Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest download speeds in the nation.
Which helps me run all of this easily. Kids checkups, scheduled. Work, bust. Treat dispenser, treating. And since I'm always on this, unlimited mobile is a no-brainer. Work.
Switch to Spectrum One. 300 megabit internet, unlimited mobile, and advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security.
Spectrum One gets it done.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi, and your first line of unlimited mobile free for 12 months. Call 833-784-4999. Visit spectrum.com or stop by a store today.
The Midwest's premier showcase for a timeless tradition, the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show, September 7th through 9th at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Sow your curiosity with every thread in our huge exhibit of quilts and vendor mall. Get hands-on with our sit and sew workshops. Or find inspiration with dozens of lectures and educational opportunities. Wrap yourself up in a world of quilting. More information at quiltshow.com.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, Jenny My Jenkins got the most out of being a talk show host. And you met your husband on The Real.
Your man might be somewhere around here.
Plus, Robin Thede is here.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
All Madison Public School students will be back in the classroom next Tuesday. Going into the school year, out-of-school suspensions will no longer be a punishment that some face.
Arman Rahman has more on what some parents think about how discipline is changing.
It's been on moratorium since 2021, but now it's official in the district's behavior education plan. Elementary schoolers will not be disciplined by being suspended out of school.
My kid's a real rule follower and would be absolutely horrified if he was suspended.
Philosophy Walker knows this won't be a huge change for her 7-year-old, but she's happy to see it official.
And I think kids who get to the behavioral level where they have an out-of-school suspension need to be in school more. I think they need more support than other kids, so I think sending them home doesn't make any sense.
The school board Monday also all voted against an exception for 4th and 5th graders, quote, posing an imminent ongoing risk to themselves or others.
A very small group of students that would be eligible for suspension per this exemption would be majority young people of color and would be majority young people with disabilities.
While removing out-of-school suspensions was supported, other board members and parents on social media worried it may put pressure on staff without support from administration.
We need to make sure there are enough resources for the teachers if we are going to do this. Because what's going to happen otherwise is the amount of seclusion and restraint is going to go up, and the amount of the timeout room is going to basically be a de facto segregation.
Walker says she understands that concern.
I don't think it should be all on the teachers. I think teachers have enough to deal with right now, but you can't just cut loose the kids who are making trouble for you.
For middle and high schoolers, the BEP classifies behaviors by intensity from levels 1 to 5. Responses to those do include out-of-school suspension and expulsion. In Madison, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
If you've ever had beach day plans ruined because of algae blooms, then you've already experienced the effects of agricultural runoffs. The blooms are mostly caused by excess phosphorus-based fertilizer flowing into rivers and lakes, making perfect conditions for the algae to grow. It's a problem that's become all too common in Madison's lakes, often prompting closures of the city's public beaches. That's why Wisconsin comedian Charlie Berens and Milwaukee-based author Dan Egan are teaming up tomorrow for a panel on how Wisconsin's agriculture and clean waterways can coexist.
The lakes are kind of in a bullseye because of the sprawling city and because of all the agriculture within the watershed. But they're also, I think, a symbol for hope.
Informed largely by Egan's reporting for his latest book, The Devil's Element, the conversation will also include UW-Madison researchers who will share ideas on how scientists, farmers, and conservationists alike can help solve the problem. The event is scheduled for 5 to 6:30 tomorrow night on UW-Madison's Memorial Union Terrace.
An historic piece of World War II has arrived in La Crosse ahead of the holiday weekend. Landing ship Tank 325 will welcome guests to step on board the vessel for tours. That ship's been on the water since 1943, serving on the shores of Normandy in France. Officially, it was in service for 3 years before its decommissioned back in 1946. It's been based in Evansville, Indiana, along the Ohio since 2005, but every year it sails for 5 weeks to allow people a chance to see its historical impact nationwide.
There's a lot of kids especially that don't have the history of the United States. You know, they don't understand when these ships landed at Normandy. And some of them got sunk, some of them got hit with bombs and stuff, especially in the Pacific.
Tours for the vessel begin tomorrow. The ship will be in La Crosse for a few days before heading to Iowa. Well, speaking of the holiday weekend, it's going to be a hot one. Gary's back with our first 4-1 forecast, but first, closely watching what is left now of what was Hurricane Idalia when it made landfall early this morning.
Yeah, the winds are not as strong, but it's still producing heavy rain and perhaps a pretty decent storm surge because of the full moon. Let's start out by taking a look at high-resolution Doppler radar across the Carolinas. And the center of circulation is now moved north and east of Charleston, South Carolina. This storm is actually moving pretty quickly to the north and east. So most of the rain is on the northern edge of the storm. The winds are offshore, but still tropical storm warnings are in effect for the Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina coast. And there also are storm surge warnings still in effect for much of the South Carolina coast, including Charleston, and a storm surge watch into North Carolina. The center of circulation is actually now just just northeast of Charleston, moving northeast at 21 miles per hour. Now tropical storm Idalia. Maximum sustained winds 60 miles an hour, gusts to 70 miles per hour, mainly offshore because of the counterclockwise circulation and the movement of the storm. That keeps the strongest winds right now offshore, but the wind blowing inland ahead of the storm is still piling up the water, causing a storm surge. Now you can see the forecast from the National Hurricane Center brings it rapidly to the northeast and east by 1 p.m. tomorrow, already offshore. Maximum sustained winds about 60 miles an hour, and then it moves back out in the Atlantic Ocean and starts to dissipate. However, still perhaps up to 5 or more inches of rain possible over parts of North Carolina. There are flood watches from central South Carolina through much of eastern North Carolina. So water is the main thing there. For us, overnight lows will be in the 40s again tonight. It'll be a cool night. Warmer temperatures, though, arrive for tomorrow and Friday, and then high temperatures will be between about 90 and 94 from Saturday through Tuesday. We could be looking at record heat for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We have a first warned weather alert day in the forecast for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for those high temperatures. Heat indices probably not as high because the humidity levels won't be quite as high, but still we're looking for the potential for record high temperatures for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. You can see the forecast high and the record highs, and we're going to be within a degree or two of that one way or the other. The overnight low temperature is not quite as high because of the lack of moisture in the air. And that lack of moisture is also producing dry conditions. Month to date, we're down over an inch and a half of rain here in Madison, over 4 inches since the start of June, and over 5.5 inches since the start of the year. And you can see on Weather Track, there's a lot of clear skies across the central part of the country because we have Idalia here and Hurricane Frank in the Atlantic Ocean. So because of that, the potential is there for more dry weather through much of the country. 78 for the high temperature tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. A pretty nice day across Dane County. Planning your day, 76 in Mount Vernon, 78 for the high in DeForest. Lots of sunshine across southern Wisconsin, 78 in Janesville, 78 in Lone Rock, and 77 in Baraboo. First warned 7 to 10 day forecast. Again, we go up to 83 Friday, 90 Saturday, 94 Sunday, 93 on Labor Day Monday, and 92 Tuesday. Those should all be dry. Maybe a thunderstorm chance Tuesday night, a slight chance on Wednesday, and maybe a slight chance toward the end of next week. Temperatures, though, remaining above normal.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin volleyball wins a thriller in Arkansas. How the Badgers took down the Razorbacks in 5 sets. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We're busy. I get it. So Stanton Optical works with your schedule. Buy online, pick up in store same day, and get a free fitting. I mean, look at my to-do list. Skip the wait. Get your kids' glasses made the same day, only at Stanton Optical.
You work hard enough. Take a load off this Labor Day with new appliances from Brothers Maine. Celebrate the holiday with unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Haier. Don't miss out. Shop the Labor Day sale at Brothers Maine today.
We need to talk about Sonobello.
We are getting rid of all of this today.
Ladies, this summer you can cover up or feel confident from head to toe with Sonobello. One visit, permanent fat removal.
Look at this shape. My tummy is gone and my hourglass shape is back.
Wherever there's excess fat, we can remove it. That's what we do all day, every day.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good.
I could actually wear a two-piece after 25 years.
I have one big regret. I didn't go sooner.
Now, with our Best Bodies summer event, you can schedule your free, no-obligation consultation, plus save $250 off instantly. That's $250 off your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more. Call 1-888-634-9939 or go to sonobello.com.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Make the most of summer with a new Toyota.
We want the Great Tacoma.
Great Tacoma coming in hot.
On it! Highlander Hybrid.
Highlander Hybrid on the double hang.
Here we go. That Red RAV4.
Run a Red RAV4.
Hit the deck.
Now that's how you holler.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on a new Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, BZ4X, Highlander, or Tacoma. See your local Toyota dealer or visit toyota.com to learn more.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Check out our lighting showroom and update your home's exterior. Patriot Lighting is available in so many unique styles and finishes, you're sure to find a look that's right for you. With more than 300 stock lights priced under $100. Pick up this Treehouse Outdoor Wall Light for $21.97 after 11% rebate. Visit our lighting showroom or check out all our lighting options on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
How can you sleep on such a firm setting?
Good. Mine is almost the same as yours.
Almost. Just another word for not as good as mine.
Save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add a base. Shop now, only at Sleep Number.
At Stanton Optical, you get great value on eye care, including contacts. Right now, get a 1-year supply of AccuView Oasis and an eye exam for only $189. Scan now to book your eye exam. Yay, technology.
It's been a good start to Wisconsin's season. 2 wins to open up their year and a #1 ranking in front of their name, but it's about to get a whole lot tougher for the Badgers. First true road trip for Kelly Sheffield and company. UW taking on Arkansas. They're down a set in the second. Badgers set up Devin Robinson, and she delivers. Team high 21 kills from her. Wisconsin closed on a 7-0 run to win the set. This one would go to a 5th, and they'd call on their closer, Sarah Franklin. She hammers it home, and Wisconsin gets the win. They take it in 5 sets, 3-2. From monster kills to big-time blocks, Devin Robinson has dominated ever since she stepped foot on campus at Wisconsin. I sat down with the middle blocker to talk legacy and hanging banners.
So here comes Wisconsin. Right side. Come on, Devin. Yes! Devin Robinson delivers.
Plenty of matches before your time here is done, but when it is over, eventually, do you think you've left the jersey in a better place?
Oh, definitely. I feel like wearing number 10 with the W, wearing the W is a big responsibility, and I feel like I've carried it pretty well with national championship and helping the team get 4 Big Ten championships in a row. I feel like that's pretty good for number 10, but there's still a lot left to be done.
Yeah, you mentioned, you know, the 4 Big Ten championships, a national championship. What's next?
You know, just the grind, you know, getting back in the gym and trying to get better every single day. I'm going to take this year one day at a time instead of being like, oh, there's this game coming up, there's this game. Like, now I'm going to focus on what I'm doing right now.
What's maybe your favorite part about volleyball?
My favorite part about volleyball is definitely just the team aspects, like having literally a second family, you know, with all my best friends, and we're getting to do something that we love, and we're pretty good at it. So, like, that makes it way more fun. And also, my favorite part of actually playing is getting, like, a huge stuff block, because then you're actually, like, shutting someone else down, like, oh, I just overpowered you, you know?
Do you ever come in here and you look up at the banners and we're like, that was part of that?
Yeah, like, we have like a recovery station over there, and sometimes I just come in here and just like look at all of them, like, wow, like we still have so much room to fill, you know? So, yeah. But it also makes me appreciate all the greats that have come before me. Like, there's banners that were here before I even got here, so it's like I want to keep building on that legacy.
Rubber match between the Brewers and Cubs. Bottom of the 8th, they're tied at 2, and Cody Bellinger plays hero again. He beats the throw to first and bring home the game-winning run. Brewers fall 3-2, and that lead is down to 3 games in the NL Central standings. We're back after this.
Hopefully, your family will never need to hire a personal injury lawyer. But if you ever do, it's important to understand that not all law firms are the same. A lot more is involved than one phone call and a quick settlement. To make things right again, it can take time, and it will take talent. Since 1930, Habish, & Rotier has recovered more million-dollar results for our clients than any other law firm in Wisconsin. Habish, & Rotier, national reputation, hometown service.
I would have to hold my back as I got off
the rug, but I didn't want to stop sitting on the floor because that's where I do most of my teaching. After I decided my pain was too much, I went to the doctor, and the doctor said it might be my feet. Suggested that I do visit the Good Feet store. After I went to the Good Feet store, I realized that you don't have to live in constant pain. They took my pain away. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or current Chevy owners get $7,500 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
I'm Randy Bump with Bump Farms, and this is my John Deere. So I'm a 6th-generation farmer. Our farm was homesteaded here in 1846. I think the thing that makes Sloan stand out the most for me is probably the people, the products, and the service. Whether it's bulk oil delivery, bulk DEF delivery, the Sloan helpline, I mean, they're always there for me. And I've actually had them open up on a Sunday and get parts for me so I can keep a combine running. And that's why I think Sloan's first.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
The Final Drive high school football coverage, Fridays at 10.
And Gary rejoins us. Final check of the forecast. Cool out there.
Yeah, it's actually comfortable out there.
Nice.
The humidity is down. There's live view from the Edgewater Skycam. Temperatures right now already in the 50s. Madison at 55. A little warmer closer to Lake Michigan, although they were cooler during the day today. Milwaukee really hasn't changed their temperature very much. 63 right now, but La Crosse is in the 60s, but just about everybody else in the 50s and 40s. Here in Dane County, we've got 55 in Perry, 55 in Belleville, and 53 right now in Wanakee. Look for skies to be mostly clear overnight. Low temperature dropping to about 47. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, not quite as cool. High temperature around 78 degrees. And then first warned weather alert days in the forecast. Saturday through Tuesday, including Labor Day Monday, for hot temperatures between about 90 and 94, and heat index readings up to 100.
Carrie, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Producer now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.